guys? Welcome back to the Wrestling Rundown. As you can see, I am by myself. We are unfortunately having some very severe icy conditions here. So Kevin Hawk, who normally is here, isn't able to because it's just bad out there. Thomas Wolf, obviously, he won't be back until maybe tomorrow. It's going to be a rough week, but we'll wait and see what happens. Kevin Hawk's not here, so I'm wearing the Chuck E. Cheese. I'm wearing my AJ Styles shirt, so that must mean this is indie news. We got a pretty short one, not a whole lot to talk about, so we'll get right into it. We got PWG Live was actually renamed Lemmy. This was on Saturday the 2nd in Reseda, California. This was obviously named Lemmy due to the fact that Motorhead frontman Lemmy Kilmister passed away last week. Rest in peace, Lemmy. Let's run through what we had on this show. We had Brian Cage defeat Chris Dickinson. Timothy Thatcher defeated Drew Gulak. We had Sami Callihan defeat Trevor Lee. We had Drew Galloway defeat Jack Evans. That's probably who it was. We had Adam Cole defeat Speedball Mike Bailey. Zack Sabre Jr. defeated Akira Tozawa. And Roderick Strong defeated Chris Hero to retain the PWG Championship. So, real quick through that. Up next, I'm going to be talking about Ring of Honor. That's what happened. Well, for us, it happened last night. For you, if you plan on watching it on Comet, if that's the channel you watch it on, it's going to be coming up this Wednesday. So if you don't want any spoilers, you either need to turn around or mute your computer until like this, or just click to the link, or not the link, click to the time that's on the bottom of your screen right now. That'll take you to the end of this review, and you won't get spoiled. You still listen to me? Alright, let's do this. So, we open up with Roderick Strong, TV champion, coming out, and he's getting booed. He's getting you tapped out chants due to the fact that he tapped out in his match against Bobby Fish at Final Battle. He's not having the chance. He's tired of it. He's sick of it. Says, you know what? Let's go ahead and continue with this Roddy versus the World, and let's see who my first open challenge for the TV Championship is. And it just happens to be the leader of the BWO, Stevie Richards, makes his way to Ring of Honor. These two have a fantastic match. It's amazing that Steven Richards is still in as good of shape, can still go as much. He's been wrestling since 1992. So this guy still holds his own against Roderick Strong. A fantastic match. He ends up actually getting out of the Strong Breaker and tries to put on a Boston Crab of his own, but Roddy's able to push him off. There's a little bit of a tussle, and then Roddy's able to hit a knee strike to finish and retain the TV title. Then we have an impromptu fish tank. Bobby Fish comes out, and he starts talking about how 2015 was a great year for the television championship. It was also a year that we had Roderick Strong's name in the limelight a lot. And he starts talking about the things that he did and what the TV title meant. And then he brings up a picture of Roddy tapping out at Final Battle. And Roddy gets pissed off. He goes, no, I didn't tap out. And the crowd's just chanting it at him. And he's like, no, I didn't tap out. And he calls Bobby Fish a sore loser and just storms off. So I'm guessing we're probably going to get a match within the next couple TV tapings. Or maybe they're going to hold off on whoever wins the Top Prospect tournament and give these guys a rematch at the 14-year anniversary, which will be in February. We'll have to wait and find out. Then we had Caprice Coleman versus Wolf Robert in a no disqualification match. This is stemming from 2 weeks ago. We had, it might have been last week. Maybe it was 2 weeks ago. We had them, they were in their second match, and it ended up being thrown out because they started like wailing chairs. Everything got crazy, so they decided, okay, no disqualification match, let these guys just hash it out in the ring. Caprice starts by addressing the fact that, the reason we're here is, because things got out of hand and they didn't want us to hurt each other, but, now, I used to have respect for you, blah, blah, blah. Caprice is running his mouth and ends up getting punched in the face by Will Ferrara, and Will Ferrara is just head of steam towards him. This was, I'd like to see these guys get a really long, pay-per-view no DQ match, because I think they could tear the house down. Still good, though. Caprice ends up taking his belt off and whipping Will Ferraro with it. They end up going to the chairs where they're bashing each other, and then Will ends up dropping his and gets a couple real big shots on his back. And Caprice thinks he's in control at this point. Wails Will a couple more times, but Will just starts seething, gets back up. He's able to fight back at Caprice, ends up setting up a table, and goes for he's trying to set up for a superplex. Caprice is able to fight out. He knocks Will Ferraro down, so Will Ferraro is actually dazed a little bit. He's standing right in front of the table. Caprice is able to get up to the top rope, and while Will Ferraro is standing, Caprice jumps off, hits the Sky Splitter leg drop through the table, and Caprice Coleman picks up the win. Fantastic finish. Prince Nana's at a ringside, and he is loving what he's seeing. And he's causing all this chaos with these envelopes he keeps passing out. We still don't know what happened with the one he gave Dijak a couple weeks ago. So yeah, it's just that so many things can happen. I really like this storyline, and this was a great match. Speaking of storylines, we know that Veda Scott and Cedric Alexander had a lawsuit, which, as a final battle, there was a settlement. The two of them got a lot of money, and it seems that there's a lot more sway in the power of Veda Scott, because she's actually able to pick Cedric Alexander's opponent. So Cedric Alexander comes out, and he's getting ready to face off against Jonathan Gresham. This is a guy that we've talked about many times on this show. Not only that, he used to be Huracan for my favorite trio, well, when they were a trio, my favorite trio in Chikara, the Osirian Portal. So this guy's a fantastic talent. There's matches of him against Seth Rollins when Seth Rollins was still Tyler Black. This guy is a fantastic talent. And he goes against Cedric Alexander. Real good back and forth. Cedric really thinks he's in control. And Gresham is able to come back. He ends up getting Cedric Alexander in the octopus stretch. And it's a very impressive octopus stretch because he's got him tied up. He's able to do a muscle pose along with it. He is running it. But then Veda ends up getting up on the apron, causes a big distraction. The referee isn't able to see the submission. So Jonathan Gresham lets go of the submission, gets in Veda's face. Then Cedric Alexander goes for an O'Connor roll that Gresham ends up reversing. Cedric Alexander kicks out. He's then able to hit his big, he calls it the 540. It's like Kofi's Trouble in Paradise. Kicks Gresham right in the face, hits him with some big drop kicks in the corner, ends up hitting the lumbar check right in the middle of the ring. It is pretty much done at this point. Veda is already getting up on the apron. She's ready to celebrate. Nothing's going to happen at this point. But Cedric Alexander decides to cocky pin. He just kind of lays back on Jonathan Gresham, and that allows Gresham to get a crucifix pin and pick up the win over Cedric Alexander. And him and Veda are just left going, what? They have no idea what just happened. So I'm hoping we see more of Jonathan Gresham, because I think it would be a fantastic feud between those two, because both of them are great athletes. Then we have our main event, which is Donovan Dijak looking to soften up Michael Elgin before his title match coming up. It'll actually be today. It's probably already happened if you're watching this video. Michael Elgin is getting his ROH World title shot in Japan in the Tokyo Dome at Wrestle Kingdom 10. And so Dijak is looking to soften up the challenger for Jay Lethal. Lethal and Truth Martini accompany Donovan Dijak down to the ring. And we get Lethal at commentary, and before he sits down, he's actually confronted by Jerry Lynn. And you hear Jerry Lynn say, I've been trying to get a hold of you for 3 weeks. You keep ducking me. I just want to say that I'm a man. I know when I'm wrong. And at Final Battle, you were the better man, and shake my hand. So Jay Lethal shakes his hand, and Jerry Lynn walks away. And then Jay Lethal obviously starts making it all about him. Oh, you see, I'm finally getting the respect I deserve from legends around here, blah, blah, blah. So he uses it to put himself over. Michael Elgin and Donovan Dijak have a fantastic match. They're Donovan Dijak is an amazing athlete. Like, the fact that someone that big can do a moonsault as well as he does is fantastic. Michael Elgin is strong beyond belief. He ends up winning with the Elgin bomb. But the great thing about the way he finishes matches is he usually does like a double power bomb before. And so he's able to reverse, I can't remember exactly what the move was, but he reverses the move and he actually is able to stall the power bomb and just hold Dijak there and really make him think about it. Then he gives him the big power bomb, back rolls him, picks him up, Elgin bomb, Michael Elgin picks up the win, and we go off the air with Jay Lethal getting in the ring and getting in the face of the challenger before their championship match. Hopefully, if we're able to, I'm hoping that we can get Thomas out here. Hopefully this ice will go away so Kevin is able to get here. If we can, we'll probably have a review of Wrestle Kingdom 10. So be sure to look forward to that. But hey, if you're muted, okay, we're done with the Ring of Honor. We're gonna move on. We don't really have any upcoming shows. There's none from Kevin Hawk. So I'm just gonna kind of go into some detail about the Top Prospect Tournament because we've got that starting up. We talked about how last week Action Ortiz, he's the first graduate from the House of Hardcore School, trained by Tommy Dreamer. He was the first name announced. We have more names. We have Leo Rush, who is the current CZW Wired champion. He's a guy that we talk about all the time on this show, so it's really cool to see him getting a shot. Punisher Martinez, this isn't really someone I know very well, and as far as I know, Kevin Hawk doesn't know very well, but apparently he's a graduate from the Monster Factory, which is also where Big Show and King Kong Bundy came from. So, and it looks like he kind of jumps around more of the Mexican and Latin promotions. Seems like that's kind of his thing. We have Colby Corino, who we've talked about many times talking about Ring of Honor. A young boy for the decade, the son of former commentary member Steve Corino in Ring of Honor. So it'd be cool to actually see him get in and compete. I'm kind of hoping he gets towards the finals and maybe that leads into we get Corino versus Whitmer, which is what Kevin Hawk has been wanting forever. So maybe that'll be kind of the key into making that happen. But finally, we also have Brian Fury. This is a guy that we've talked about a couple times. He actually trained Michael Bennett and Hanson. Both guys have won this tournament before. So a lot of people are saying that with the fact that he's trained two former winners, he's kind of a shoo-in to win this thing. And, I mean, I don't know him very well, so maybe we'll get some more insight on him next week when Kevin Hawk is able to come back. I'm sure Kevin Hawk knows a little bit more about Brian Fury than I do, but it's awesome that he's in this tournament. This is shaping up to be a really great Top Prospect tournament. I'm excited, and it starts this weekend. It starts on the 9th. And so, we're going to get the first two matches. We won't be giving any spoilers as to who won next week. We'll actually be talking about, because it's going to be on TV. So as we do Ring of Honor results, we'll be talking about who won and who's moving forward in the tournament. But other matches that are going to happen at that January 9th TV taping in Charlotte, we have the All Night Express getting their tag team title match. They earned the number one contender spot at Final Battle by winning the Four Corner Survival match. We'll have Frankie Kazarian taking on Alex Shelley. This is all stemming from Alex Shelley screwing over the Addiction and trying to blame Chris Sabin and all this stuff, so that should be a good one. And then also Roderick Strong has another open challenge for the TV championship, and it has been accepted by deathmatch veteran Masada. This is a guy, I've seen him get like fucking skewers smashed into his head, or like he does it to people. It's messed up. But the fact that he is going against Roderick Strong, Roddy is going to have to really work on his pain tolerance because this guy can take a fucking beating. That's all I've got for indie news. Thanks for watching. Be sure to like, favorite, subscribe. There's lots of links down there for this video because there's links to all the people that we talk about on the show. You got CZ Wrestling, Chikara Pro, ROH Wrestling, a whole bunch more. Check out those links below those. all of our links, Facebook, Twitter, Tumblr, Instagram, Reddit, the podcast. Thanks for listening to the podcast, by the way. And there's 2 emails. If you want to get a hold of all of us, if you want to ask a question, if you want to lend us some advice, if you want to make a comment about what we do, you can get a hold of all of us at fanstalkwrestling@gmail.com. And if you want some insight as to who Kevin Hawk is, if you want to just talk to the Wrestling Encyclopedia, be sure to check out Kevin_Hawk636 at hotmail.com, and he will be sure to reply. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next week for episode 82. And we'll see you whatever video you decide to watch next. What was I say? Oh yeah. Fuck Sheamus.